Good afternoon. EquinEdge stretch run. Justin here. Oldy, welcome. Monmouth Park about to go, Oldy. They are back. Great day of racing today, I would say. We have the Santa Anita carryover in the pick six late. We'll talk about that. Oldy, Scotty Longshot, 4 in a row yesterday to end the card at Santa Anita. Paid $50,000 in the late pick five.
Always happens when I'm driving a car and can't take advantage of it, you know?
My buddy Chris Clark, he's in our chat in the stretch run. He chimed in yesterday. He sent me a text. He said, Sky Longshot won 3 races in a row, and he had the daily double, and the 4th one hit. And I saw, Jeff, you were chiming in the chat. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It's good to be here. And we'll watch Monmouth Park here in a second. But and then we got Monmouth Park, we got Woodbine, but we also have Gulfstream Park, Oldy, which good 2 stakes races at the Royal Palm meet here, both Ascot type qualifiers. So, I think that both one for the boys, one for the girls at Gulfstream, and then late pick 6 at Santa Anita. And it didn't, I thought there were some favorites. I think there's a couple, I thought I could see. I think you agree to some extent. So, Chris Couples, Gary, Wiz, Joe, Jeff, everybody, thanks for being here. No baseball, Oldie, for me today. We had pictures for baseball, and like 8 of the 11 kids were gone because they're playing some tournament for Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day. And I was like, so we took our team picture last week, but day off from baseball, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Very nice. Going in the game.
All right.
Monmouth here.
Yeah, they're loading. I'll pull us over. Let's see here. Monmouth Park, day 1, right, Oldie? This is opening day, I think. Yeah. Looks like race 1, top Scotty.
Up to the gate.
Pick
the
1.
Race, Money's Magic has gone in. Bella Artist.
I had a little, so I have the favorites pretty solid here. I thought the 4 I might have a little interest in is top GSR.
Park coming up. Midnight Millie to post 3. They've loaded Marmaris.
Chuck Spina. I don't know that trainer.
Post die.
I mean, the 11 looks fast.
Golden Rig.
Looks like the 8 with Paco. Paco riding up at Monmouth now.
Post 5. Two back, half a happy.
Oh, has he whiz? Hot Rod, we'll talk about that Gulfstream race. That's a great stakes race.
A field of 11 here. To voyage 5.5 furlongs for the New Jersey breds. Blue Moon Tide. Go again.
Mr. Dinnerman, Oldie, now up at Monmouth Park from Oaklawn.
Oaklawn is done. And the 3 forgot there was a race.
Midnight Millie.
Yeah, that horse broke slow.
Good battle on the lead early. Allison Park outside of Blue Moon Tide. They're right together. Marmaris in a little bit of a tight spot, running in the 3rd position, though. 2 lengths off dueling leaders. Bella Artiste is next in 4th, gap of 2 to stablemate Jewel of the Ocean in the 5th position going into the turn. Kate's Love right behind her. Have a Happy is 3 deep. Gap of 2 to Kate's Love is already giving way here. Passed by Yes, My Lady Lino to the inside, trying to make up some ground. She's 6 off the pace. Gap of 2 to Golden Ring. The 2 at the
6
back,
running well.
Magic, 1 way far behind there is the stumbling.
That horse took a lot of money.
The top of the lane.
4-1.
Allison Park have been 1-2 the whole way around, and that's how they turn for home. Outside, here's Jewel of the Ocean, the first-time starter, running a big one under Chris Elliott.
Wow. Come on, Elliott, get up.
Inside, it's Allison Park. Between horses, Blue Moon Tide. Outside, Jewel of the Ocean, Green, and the first lifetime start.
But it's going to hold on.
Wow, the 8, yeah. That's the second Scotty pick, Goldie, 3-1.
Tide right behind them, 3rd. Marmaris was 4th.
We jump back. You can see Allison Park, second pick there, had 4 tries. Wiz, I've heard that. But Oldie, the second pick, Allison Park gets there. I was watching the race sim as we were watching the race, and you could see here that the 11 and 8 were both going to show speed, Oldie. The 7 obviously didn't really do much of anything, but And then I had the 6 coming. Look, the 6 got bet all the way to 4-1, ran a good race.
Yeah, I mean, the 6 definitely ran a good race, just hung a little bit there, I think. But that 8 showed some grit, for sure. It was the morning line favorite as well.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we got lots of live racing today, Oldie. So Pimlico, we got the Preakness next week. It sounds like there's already been quite a bit of talk, though, Oldie, around the Preakness and who's going to enter.
Yeah, I already have a pretty strong opinion for the Preakness next week. Yes.
You do?
Yeah, there's a horse I like there. I think will sit right off goal oriented, and I think has a big shot there. Just teasing it for next week's show. So, but that's a great card, though. We were talking about that they have 10 stakes races or graded stakes races on Saturday, and several on definitely not Citizen Bull. Yeah, I think he's still breaking sideways.
Mike gave the dig. I love it. Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. I think they do a good job. I mean, now, so we'll talk Preakness later, maybe a little bit later today too, but they're going 9 on the turf. Rail 20 feet, so slightly set out. The 4-horse 39, or sorry, the 8-horse Fighter Town, 39% GSR drops. But let's watch the race sim, Oldy, for a minute. You have some outside speed, it looks like, from the 9 and 7 going 9.
I thought there was a lot of speed in this race.
Yeah, the 11 looked cheap to me, right? I mean, the 9's taking some amount of money, but the race sim show that the 9 going to get loose. I mean, getting bet a little bit, lukewarm favorite at 7-2. But then you do have horses like the 2, the 3, the 4 that all look to be closing. The 2 Kings Rivers, the the Scotty long shot, but the 9 holds on in the race sim. But where'd you land here?
So I thought that you could get a price here. I thought the 2 has a big look. Thought the 3 Be Determined as well has a nice look, and the 5 Petite Felice as well, with the big GSR jump going back to turf throughout the last race on the dirt.
Yeah, it looked fairly competitive from a starter optional claim. I mean, I would agree. I didn't necessarily when I looked here, I mean, I did like the morning line angle on the 9, but I do agree with you on all the speed. But I did think, I mean, back here needed the lead, ran okay here. I mean, these are similar. This horse has been racing pretty much at this level, at Laurel, right?
Yeah.
So comes over for Ness. I mean, burn money here at this level. I mean, but the price seems right at 7-2.
Yeah, no, I just think that there's too much pace for that horse here.
All right. So
I'm not positive that horse wants turf either.
So you have the 5, like you said, getting back to turf. Then you have Kings River, the long shot. So let's talk about the 2. Hasn't won in how long? Not quite a year. So coming up on the year mark, but had faced tougher for quite a long time over at Laurel on the dirt. Now gets over to the turf.
And did have a really nice turf effort last time out at Laurel.
I mean, ran off the speed and ran second. So with all that speed, you would assume that this horse would get a similar trip. I mean, comes back at nearly the same level. A little bit different. Looks like that was a restricted race, but I mean, it's a competitive group for sure. But I mean, Kings River's taking money, Oldie, I think made sense. I thought this horse could win. Would for sure be a try play. Mark said winners only. Oh, Steph came to say hi, Oldy. We were at breakfast, Oldy, and then we went to breakfast. I was a little bit late this morning because I was handicapping Gulfstream Park. That takes me a lot longer to handicap, Oldy, than Fairgrounds did.
There are a few more horses in those races, so
And they're just sometimes a lot more competitive.
yeah.
And Jeff, you're right. But Steph, thank you. I took an Uber home, or I took a Lyft home, Oldy. Steph was still eating breakfast. But on a night, I wouldn't. This wouldn't really be much of a bet for me. The 4 horse isn't taking money, Oldie, like none at all. Where the 2 is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the 4 probably is going to be too close to the pace, but it's a horse I would use. So in a pick 4 here, I was looking at 2 through 5.
Yeah, I mean, I wait in no 9.
No 9, no 8.
How much time we got?
We got 2 minutes to post here.
All right, how much you want to do at Laurel in the pick 4?
Let's do like $60.
So you want 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yep.
No 8, no 9.
I have a single I think you'll like too.
Okay. All right, race 8.
All right, here, just go to race 8, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10.
Okay.
Single the Scotty Longshot in leg 3, the 2, which it was already doing.
Yeah, I love that. That's amazing. Okay.
And then 1, 3, 4, 5, 7 in the last.
I think you should just $60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess so. That's 5. That's $12 a horse, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to beat the favorite in the last. Okay. All right, that's all these pick 4. Jeff. So here's the thing, Jeff. You know what? Oldie, as we Emerald Downs, this was last weekend, right? Look through, I always look. My trainer had told me opening weekend, yeah, we might enter in next weekend, depends. She enters a first-time starter, and they win at a $62 horse. I was nice. Like, I didn't play it, but Jeff, maybe. We'll see. All right, Oldie, that's your pick 4?
Yeah, and that pick 4 would require beating 3 morning line favorites out of the 4 legs there.
I like it. I thought it was a good sequence. I think I love the 2 turf back to back, and then you have the dirt, and then you have the dirt. So the coast to coast, Oldie, I thought was a good sequence today too. It had 4 turf races.
Yeah, but the couple of those turf races are very lean at Santa Anita. The scratches.
I do agree there. I like you and I agree on the 4 horse.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump over to Laurel Park, approaching the gate. We got the Preakness next weekend only on Saturday.
And the Black-Eyed Susan on Friday.
Still on.
And then that'll be it for Pimlico, I think, till 2027.
And Splendor Beauty.
Track looks good right now. Beautiful day there.
Representative. Kings River for Nashville Dreams. Be Determined. San Francisco Unicorns. Kendama. Now 3-1 favorite for New York Knights. Miami Thunderbolts. Petitfils. Maximo Madness. Phoenix Mustangs.
Frosty the Giant.
Look at that
of
turf
Racing
course.
Club.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Fighter Town for New Jersey Racing Club.
As it should
Representing
when it's
Arlington,
only being
Splendor
used for
Beauty.
2 weeks.
Now second wagering choice at 7-2.
Right?
It's true.
Power back. Gets in.
That's a
One of the
very
Elks,
odd place to
California
start, though.
Shamrocks.
The one or the who?
Distance a mile
That
and an eighth on the
where
turf.
the gate is.
Turf condition is firm.
It's not
Yeah.
quite into the straight. It's actually kind of a couple inches and a couple feet into the turn.
It's pretty impressive though. I do agree with you, Oldy. If that, like, obviously, if any of those horses break in, they're going to go right into the rail. But they're able to get that all the way out to the 11 post. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah.
we saw one scratch, but that's pretty impressive.
And they're off.
I mean, they cleared pretty
Frosty the
easy.
Giant fast away from the gate and going to flaunt that early speed over toward the inside. It is Frosty the Giant up front from Splendor Beauty, getting away second, and Kendama settles in.
One of the other sounds is
Fighter
on
Town
here.
is in between horses in that flight of runners, and Power Back racing up close on the outside
Here,
from fifth
you can
position.
fix
It's a
it.
gap of 6 more lengths back.
Here, fix it, Oldy.
It was Monmouth that I didn't shut off there.
Prince
There we go.
Kozan and Maximo Madness
Hey,
is
Jay.
the last runner. So round that turn they roll, and it's Frosty the Giant at a good pace. Leads it some 3 lengths. Splendor Beauty keeping close tabs of the second spot. On the inside is Kendama in third. Fighter Town is in fourth. On the outside is Power Back in good striking range from fifth. Back to Petit Fils, and then it's Kings River. To the back of the pack with Prince Kozan and Be Determined. And last still is Maximo Madness. Still plenty to do. Some 14 to 15 lengths off the pacemaker. Into the far turn it goes Splendor Beauty. Splendor Beauty has taken a narrow lead. Frosty the Giant down on the inside. And third position is
You need that
Kendama
5,
as they
Oldy.
around that far turn. They're midway on the turn next. On the inside is Petit Fils. So
Or the
racing to
4.
the top of the stretch with a quarter to go at Pimlico. Wide open affair. It is
Here, your
Splendor
5's
Beauty, a
loaded,
narrow
but it
lead,
got
punching through on the inside
squeezed.
is Be
Here's the
Determined.
2
On the
is
center of the
flying
track,
at
Kings
92,
River.
the long
Unleashing
shot.
a
He got
fire
up the
rally. Here
rail.
comes Kings River.
No, I don't
Charging
think
out to
the 2
outside
is
for Long
flying.
Go.
Yeah,
But
go
here comes
2.
gone.
Be Determined. Back
Scotty
in third
long
is
shot to
Kendama
kick
far
off
outside.
the
Prince
card.
Kozan on for a share.
I guess
Kings
kick off
River
the
does it.
day.
Kings River
Yeah.
by 4. Closer for second. It's Kendama. Prince Kozan in the picture
It's a
late
good
on. But last
exacta.
was Maximo
Here
Madness,
comes
who's flying up the inside.
3, I
You
believe.
see how fast they went sub 47 at 9 furlongs.
Yeah. No,
But they're
yeah,
almost-
for sure.
Yeah.
Look at that. The 2 just had a great setup, was just flying on the outside, bumped into the 4 almost. It definitely did hit the 4.
Yeah.
But like you said, the 3 came up the
49.04
rail.
running
Your
time.
5 horse ran really well, Oldy. I mean, that's definitely a horse I would say to watch back out on the turf again.
Yeah, it just got trapped in there and then wasn't able to get moving again.
Two wins easy, though.
Yeah, 2-4-1, it looks like.
All right. You're alive with a good price and good potential.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with the way that played out exactly or similarly to the way I saw it in my head in terms of the pace melting.
All right, let's go to this stakes race at Gulfstream Park, Oldy.
All right, I also threw you my pick 5 ticket there in the chat,
Oh, here. Yeah, I can
but I could read it off to you. That might be easier.
no, I have it here. I see it now. You are 2, 4, 6, 11 for
Not 11.
14. Sorry,
14,
2, 4,
yeah.
6, 14. That I don't. That's it's because it's looking at my. Hold on.
You can just bring up a screenshot of mine if you want.
No, that's fine. So you were 2, 4, 6, 14. And then 1, 6, 7. I thought that the one bottomless mimosa, I really liked her. I talked about the one in my daily video. And then
I typically will not. I use the one, but typically you can get away with throwing out Sano horses.
yeah, he's been cold, but I thought that was a shot. He's definitely heating up a little bit. He's been cold at the meet. You're singled to 3, huh? Oh, you singled to 9. Oh no,
You're looking at the Aqueduct. I singled the 7.
yeah, you singled the 7 here. I could see that. I like the 3 and 2. I like the 2 quite a bit in that leg. And we'll go back through this, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put this in. And then here you're 1. You spread there. And then oh, 150. I see. All right, there's your pick 5. Let's talk. We have 1 minute, so I can see that.
Getting absolutely hammered too.
Yeah, let's talk about this. The problem, Oldy, I had with the 6, and it's not surprising because the E morning line, right? My concern, Oldy, on Lenaloo, this horse tripped out on the slop at Keeneland.
Yeah.
So this horse may not just immediately get over to the turf. That was my concern when I looked at the GSR. So I thought my top pick was the 2. The source is working well, Oldie. It was the top GSR in Bibidal. Morelos is riding, Oldie, the best of his career. I mean, the kid's sitting at 17%. He's riding most efficient out of anybody. I mean, Edgar Zaya is leading jock, but he's been absolutely on fire. But I was 2, 4, 6, 14, 1, I think here. But
Okay.
who was your top pick?
Well, I think the 4 most likely wins this race.
For Wesley? Yeah.
For Wesley, yeah, unfortunately. But I would love to find a way to beat that horse.
Well, I like the 2, so that's who I'd root for.
I thought the 14 for Cassie, the long shot, putting Vasquez aboard by Constitution, could have a look there.
Yeah, I mean, 22 to 1, big price. So, all right, let's keep going just because we got. So, you were 167 here. I would agree with you. I like the 1 best. Any comments on this race?
I mean, I think maybe if I were to add a long shot in there I didn't use, it would be the 5, Awesome McKenzie, moving from turf to dirt. Yeah. I mean, it had a lot of works. I saw that for Sweezy. I mean, kind of a question mark. I mean, could improve, obviously, here versus this group. For sure. Yeah, I mean, this is not the strongest group. I didn't like the 4 at all for Delgado there.
Yeah.
Which probably puts that horse in the winner's circle, just saying that out loud. But, so that's where I ended up landing. I just thought the 5 might sit a trip behind all that speed as a long shot option there.
All right, then you singled the 7 here, Life Fury, with the speed on the Tapeta.
Speed on the Tapeta. The horse had 3 wins on the Tapeta going into November. Then they threw it on the turf. It had 1 more Tapeta effort where it didn't get the lead. Then went to the Carlos David barn. And I like the second off the claim angle here for Carlos David, who's 27%.
Yeah, I agree with you. Everyone gonna be aggressive. He's gonna send. If they go too fast, Belly of Jelly, the long shot, wins the race. Oldie. I also thought Speedy Hans with Jaramillo had a look, but I was 327 in that race. And then I love the 3 and 2 here. Is probably my best bet on the card. Oldy, I would play him in the exact. I like the 3 best on top. I see you spread with the 73-foot rail. I thought Do Gooder for Morelos. I talked about him. He's been riding incredible. I thought would be tough, but you spread here. Talk to me, and looks like they're getting over onto we on the turf. They're running 5 in this stakes race, but you spread here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Do Gooder could win, but I don't trust Jenna in these situations. Her horses haven't been running all that well. I just thought that even though there does not appear to be all that much pace here, I thought somebody like the 1 Pursuit of Liberty could show more speed coming over to the Ramsey barn. So somebody like that, or the 5 for Santo has shown speed before. I think that those are a couple options, that there might be more speed in here than we think. And I actually had a little bit of interest in the 2 Dia Matrona for Walensky, the long
That
shot.
was my second pick, Oldie. I think that horse has a big shot. My pick 5. What I'll do is I'll play a pick 4. Oldie will get there. I kind of like the pick 4 a little bit better from a price standpoint for me. When I put my ticket together, because I wanted to use the 2 with the 3 in a horizontal sequence. So we'll look at that. And then you were, and the last is the other stakes race, and we'll get there when we talk about the pick 4. But I like the 3 and 4 here. I see you use them both. Any other thoughts before we flip over to their loading?
I thought that this race was pretty wide open.
Yeah.
And I thought the 1 has a look there for Weaver. He's been winning. I
agree. I would use probably 6 horses there in my pick 4. But I did like the 3, 4 best. But hey, we're gonna jump over to Mr. P. Aiello. They're loading in the Gulfstream Park for 2-year-olds. It's the Royal Palm Juvenile for the fillies. Lenaloo taking a lot of money, Oldie. You have 2, 4, 6, 14. I would love to see the 2 BB Doll run a good race. That's where I landed. But I'm with you on the 4. I thought for Wesley the 4 would be tough. 6 horse, we'll see.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time for the Royal Palm Juvenile fillies.
I mean,
horses with race experience dominate the betting here. The favorite is the Keeneland winner, number 6, Lenny Lou, under jockey Luis Saez. 5-2 on the other Keeneland winner, Satisfied Mind. Wesley Ward up for Amisael Jaramillo up for Wesley Ward. Late pick 5 pool swells past $150,000. The third favorite is the 11.
Former jockey. He could ride for Jaramillo if he wanted.
From the Safi Joseph Jr. Shed Row with Francisco Arrieta riding.
Yeah, Arrieta riding at Gulfstream. Anybody hasn't seen
5
that?
furlongs for $100,000.
He hasn't got his win. He's been riding for Safi Oldie and since Thursday. He's had a few
really good meet at Oaklawn though.
Yeah, no, I was glad to see him come up and ride here. He's had some placings.
Outside horses moving in. Kitty Cleo, Le Sunshine. Here's just a little bit. The favorite is Gray, Lenny Lou. Satisfied Mind, daughter of First Samurai. She was quick on the debut. Waiting for Divinely Inspired and Lenny Lou.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. I'm glad to see him come ride here, though.
Divinely Inspired will complete the line. They're at the post. Racing and the Royal Palm Juvenile fillies. Good start in the middle for Lenny Lou, who heads off for the early advantage. Satisfied Mind goes on the attack. Away third is Liz Sunshine. Just a little bit is out of there fourth. At the rail, BB Doll hunts a forward spot, about 6 lengths off the speed. On her outside goes Divinely Inspired. Then back to the outside. That's Kitty Cleo moving out the rail. Royal Testament. Strata del Sogno shuffled back. Then Bohemian and Authentic Guitar. To the far turn they go, the opening quarter in 22 flat. Satisfied Mind has the lead, but Lenny Lou is on the attack as the leader tried to get out. It's Satisfied Mind losing the lead to Lenny Lou. Les Sunshine is next. Wheeling to the clear is BB Doll for a stretch opportunity. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Lenny Lou has it by 2.5. BB Doll up in the second. Down the center, Royal Testament is now third. They come past the 16th pole, and Luis Saez is not here for the weather. He's here for Lenny Lou, and she's in front. Lenny Lou to win it by 5 in the end. BB Doll was second. It's a wall for third. Could be Authentic Guitar in 56 and 4.
Yeah, Jeff was. BB Doll ran a big race. I was glad to see that. That would have been the exacta was the play there. The 4 Satisfied Mind, like you said, Oldy. I'm not sure what happened there. Like, look, I mean, it was lugging out, but maybe something happened.
Yeah, no, it looked like something on the turn, like the horse was, what's the word, in distress, unfortunately.
That wasn't good. 4 was second, last was. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, not that that's great. All right, we got Santa Anita in 17 minutes, so that's in a bit. We do we want we got Pimlico in 12 back on the turf. You had your pick 4 there. Do we want to jump to Woodbine, Oldie, for a minute? I know you wanted to look at Aqueduct, but we have some time, right?
Right, yeah, no, I think we can safely jump to Woodbine here. Or to Monmouth, but
no, let's. Monmouth's about to go. Why don't you pull up the video of Woodbine real quick, Oldie? So, when did Woodbine open?
2 weeks ago.
6 a winner, Lenny Lou.
Help if I shut off Gulfstream though. There we go. The 2 weeks ago, Mike Salata's been writing the notes there.
Oh, that's good.
If he had anything on this race, he did.
All right, Woodbine in action. We'll jump over here. Race 6, optional claimer for 40, Oldie. There's a pace square on the motions granted. 13-1. Let's watch the race sim real quick. We'll press play. 5 horse has big morning line angle, 9-2.
Yeah. And the race sim really likes the 5 horse here in terms of getting the lead.
Yeah, and then ultimately it kind of backs up, but like you said, that horse might be the fastest horse. Six horse wins the race sim. Top pick. What were your thoughts here?
You know, I mean, I could see the 6 winning, but the 5 could get a great trip right off the 1 here, like it did last time out at 5 furlongs. How about a 1-5 exacta here?
So the 1 up front. So many of these, I guess, well, the 6. So the 5, you're getting really good value. Mike talks about that in his notes. 7-1 at 6%. I mean, but GSR drops a little bit on the stretch out, Oldie. The 1 up front, I mean, this horse just broke its maiden, but that was a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting the 3 and the 1s. So they both have the Morans aboard. Not the morons, but the Morans. But the better of the 2 jockeys gets on the 1. Different trainers, but the jockey on the 3, who's only 8% from that family, if they're related.
David and Pietro.
And the 1 has a weight advantage here too.
Yeah, carrying 117. I saw that. I mean, it's fair. I mean, the 1 is 1 for 11. The 3 just won in its first race, first time out. I mean, the 5 Oldie won last out at a 44, definitely improved. Could have won that first race. I mean, I thought this horse definitely had some interest. I would agree. I just wasn't sure that the 1. I mean, these races were so much easier and couldn't win. I mean, I know they were on the turf and now gets back to the synthetic at Woodbine, but.
Yeah, and I think maybe the Scotty Longshot, who's a first-time starter here, is not impossible either. Does that 1 really nice work on May 3rd?
These aren't bad. This is not a bad work, though, either, even back at the beginning of April. First-time starter Scotty Longshot has always had a good ROI, Oldie. So I would agree with you. Not a huge – this wouldn't be a betting race for me. I know the 6 is the favorite. It probably makes sense after that win. But I agree with you on the 4. The 5, I think, could run well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that you can potentially beat the 6 or the 3 here. I think it's worth a shot. But, this 4, that this is an allowance optional claimer, or an optional claimer, not allowance optional claimer, and not a maiden race, and that they must think enough of this horse to think it can handle this type of company. At 7 here. Right here, let's maybe take a look at them on the track. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna try to see if I could play a try.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna pass. Well, yeah, we can jump over. I was thinking, I was trying to see if I could figure out a try there, but I don't think I have a big enough opinion.
4 to 5, 7 to 2.
I do think you can beat the 6 though. Well, yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking at the 4 or the 5.
Turf course, I don't think is opened yet at Woodbine.
This race from the chute 7 furlongs. They've arrived and going.
Looks like good weather at the moment.
Yeah.
The inside runner will come up last. Motion granted. Next pitch going in has settled into gate 3. Private Label. The first time started to gate 4. The winner of the opening race of the season, Bob and Jules, is back here. Comes up now to gate 5. So the field is close to a start.
On Brooks says 2, 3, 4, 2, 4,
Race
1.
favorite will be next. Bob and Jules coming back out the gate.
I don't know what that
That's
is.
got a 4-1 daily
Bob and
double,
Jewel.
maybe. I'm trying to.
The Don McRae barn. It's a stormy Monday.
Scott Free.
It's a stormy Monday.
Up in Toronto.
Guided forward.
Oh, 2-4 to the 1 daily double.
Okay.
Good luck.
To the inside gate. Motion
Go
granted.
get it on break.
They're in the
Go.
gate. Locked up. Off their race. Starter got them out
the
pretty
1.
evenly. Going out in front from the outside is Bob and Jules. Has gone clear. with over into the inside, coming through
The
to
one
second.
didn't
next
break
pitch.
well, broke
Away
in.
nicely on the
for
outside,
the
going
5,
forward
though.
to second
Yeah,
spot is It's
it's
a
great.
Stormy Monday. Racing handy in the center is Private Label, motion granted and out disgrace.
6
at the
is
back.
rank.
That 4 lengths covers the field, and Bob and Jules left alone to show the way by a length to next pitch, who rolls up easily on the inside.
I don't.
Neck away in third is It's a Stormy Monday, and they're out by 2 lengths to motion granted in the center, Private Label, and the widest
Almost
out disgrace.
25.
They've been going at a fairly slow tempo, and Bob and Jules leader by 3/4
That's
to next
7
pitch.
furlongs.
Off the inside, Bob and Jules on the rail, next pitch, and just behind them, It's a Stormy Monday, and neck away in third. A length away came on the outside, out disgrace. Motion granted the rails and pushing up in the center, Private Label. It'll be a sprint from here as they come down to the 5/16, and showing the way by a half a length is Bob and Jules, the first to have a shot at the leaders. Next pitch up on the outside and coming 3 wide, It's a Stormy Monday. Only a length behind them is motion granted, Private Label. Turning in front, and Bob and Jules first for home. Next pitch, the center. It's a Stormy Monday coming on strongly to take the lead away from them both, and going to the front. It's a Stormy Monday. Raced out by about a length in front of Bob and Jules. Private Label coming home down the outside, but It's a Stormy Monday roaring away from them as they come inside the final 16 for a good win.
Try, huh?
It's a Stormy Monday by 2 lengths to Bob and Jules.
Well,
Private Label, motion granted.
We were
The time
close.
is 1:25:48.
Trying to beat the favorite, but. All right, we got Pimlico Oldy in about 3 minutes. 2 minutes. They're on the turf again. Starter optional claim. Going 5 this time. Let's watch the race sim. The 4 looks to have quite a bit of speed also with the 9, Oldy. The 4 was 9-5 on the E morning line, but the GSR dropped 25 points.
Yeah, that was. I saw both those things, and I don't necessarily trust the 9 either.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, if the 9 breaks slow, the 4 gets an easy lead. I mean, they're really the only 2 speed here.
So then you have the 2, 5, 7, and 10. And the 2 is the top pick, is taking a ton of money. Currently the 2-1 favorite. I mean, 1 at Laurel at 5.5, but when you look at the 5 furlong, this horse has also run well. So I thought the 2 had a big look, but you also had the 10, and the 5 is right there on the race sim with the 7. Oldie, what were your thoughts?
I just thought that this race looked wide open, and there's nobody here who I really thought, this is a turf horse. That or a turf sprinter. Like there's knocks on all of them. The 3 actually was 7-2 on the morning line and isn't getting bet at all. Has no speed.
I mean, if there's a lot of speed, then I mean, the 10 horse Southern horse, Oldie, I mean, was former Jonathan Wong, is second off the layoff for this trainer Corrales, who hits at 11%. I mean, this horse won 60s at Santa Anita and then Louisiana Downs, has a lot of layoff lines, but I thought that horse might have a look. I mean, outside post, not a ton of speed, but there's a lot of pace up front, I would say here.
And I think the 7 Cactus has a big look, having won at 5.5 last time out, and seems to be in good form.
Yeah, what
Unlike
about
a lot of these other ones?
What about Louisiana Animal? Louisiana Animal? That's the 5. My gosh, that's a tough one. But I thought this horse had a big look, Oldie. I mean, was ran at this level. I mean, now second in the McGee barn. Troy Alba rides. Like, I know wasn't in the picks, but I thought that horse had a big look just because it can, it's won on the lead, but it's also shown that it can run well off the lead. So we'll see. I mean, I know it hasn't won in, all its races have been predominantly on the lead, but I thought it had a look as well.
No, I thought that horse could rate a little bit and might be dangerous there. They did lose to the 7 Cactus last time out. after having made the lead in the stretch. So it's just going to probably depend how fast they go as to whether it's going to be too fast for the 5.
Yeah. And that's your pick 4. So you're live to 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 10.
Correct. Yes.
All right. Yeah, no, I could see why you would spread here. I mean, and like David Harrison always says, turf sprints can be just insane. But Scott, yeah, the 5 on the grass, that horse has a big shot. Louisiana Animal.
I'm going to take a.
Tenix and Marathoner. First 2 up. Boss is a Pal. Now up to 2-1. Cactus. Cactus now 2-1. Racing for the Miami Thunderbolts. 2-1. Cactus. Couple of runners left to load. Louisiana Animal and Southern Horse.
How about that for timing?
Irish Hero very fast away. Boss is a Pal with a sharp break 2. And here is Smith and enough stoking up early. Speed on the outside. Then Louisiana Animal settles back in 5th, and Cactus right alongside of that. And sharp and only 3 lengths on the front is Cactus. And then Sue Loves Barbados as they head on for the far turn. Southern Horse is about 7 or 8 lengths from the front into the turn. Back to 10X to the rear of the field with Monster Mason back there too. And Marathoner on the inside. So rounding that turn, Irish Hero, the speed, Smith and enough there on the outside. Boss is a Pal just in behind them, and Cactus is set down on the far outside. Upper stretch now here at Pimlico. Here comes Cactus on the outside. Cactus forging to a narrow lead. Cactus narrow lead. Boss is a Pal going to run with that one. Then to the outside, Louisiana Animal is charging hard. And between horses, Two Loves Barbados, Cactus. Cactus from Boss is a Pal. Third will be Louisiana Animal. Then Sue Loves Barbados. Cactus.
Ended up going off as the favorite, Oldy at 8-5.
Well, that's the one race I used the favorite in, so
well, that's good.
Right for spreading in the one race I was using the favorite in, right?
I do agree. Your singles coming up next there. We got Santa Anita race 1, Oldy, going off in 1 minute. They're on the turf going 8 furlongs.
I thought this race was pretty wide open. Let's take a look at the betting here as well.
So 4-horse taking money with the GSR and Port Ellen, also the Scotty Longshot, which was absolutely on fire yesterday. 7-horse only looks to have the lead fairly easily, but only 7% to win.
Yeah, and so does the 7-horse get the lead or does the 1 get the lead? I think the 1 gets the lead from the inside.
Yeah, you're right, with the pace number maybe. So the 2 ends up winning the race. Them 6, 3, 4 also run a good race. The 2's the current favorite, Free and Humble. But to your point, I mean, the 1-horse probably needs the lead, Oldie. I mean, for me, it backed up in both of these. I think probably gets pressure from the 7 would be my perspective. I'm not sure this horse fits at this level for me. So I was looking off the pace, but what did you think?
Yeah, so I mean, I used the 1 and the 2, but I thought that the 4 and the 6 have a big look from off the pace here. If the 4 runs back to the race on last year in May, I think that horse for Baltas has a big look. And I think you have the D'Amato horse, the 6, who could be closing here and, has had trouble staying on the track, is second off the layoff, and could get an ideal setup here.
All
They're off
right.
already.
With Port Ellen second by 2.
Jockey is Mario
Corporal
Villalobos,
Violet
back-to-back
just
wins.
behind the top pair.
Uh-oh.
Then it's Annie's Joy.
You can fix it.
And
It's fine.
Monchica to catch. Leads it about a length still. Port Ellen has been in pursuit throughout. Then Corporal Violet and Annie's Joy in fourth. Quarry Thunder, Edesia inches up outside Free and Humble, who now trails, but they're covered by only 6 lengths heading to the quarter pole. It's Monjica in front of neck now to Port Ellen, who's trying her best to get by second. Annie's Joy right there in the thick of it, angling off the rail a bit. The gray is Edesia, fanning out very wide. On the inside, Free and Humble had to steady and alter course. Here's Corporal Violet, who's had a dream trip up to take the lead outside of Port Ellen. 2 lengths clear of Annie's Joy in third, and Edesia, Corporal Violet, and Armando Aguilar, who handled this mare to perfection. Port Ellen was second.
That was
Photo for third.
we
Edesia,
talked
Annie's
just
Joy.
only a tad on that horse, Oldy, but I was going. That was the look at that horse, didn't take any money, but on the race sim, that's where you could see that horse maybe was gonna show a lot of speed. The race sim liked this horse
And did win last time. It went 2 turns, but this horse hadn't shown the ability to rate like that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. All right, we got the why don't we go? You want to go to Gulfstream or do you want to go to Aqueduct? You like the Aqueduct late sequence, but you're looking at the late pick 5, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, why don't we? I'm gonna play a Gulfstream pick 4, Oldie.
Okay.
I think it was $45. So I believe 167. I'm only 2 and 3 in this race. And then here 327. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. Yep. So I thought that the 6 would be tough here, but I did thought you might be able to beat the 6, Oldie. If the 7 and the 6 go, Bottomless Mimosa should sit kind of the trip.
Yeah, we talked about that horse. I think that horse is live here as a first-time starter.
In race 7. Whoops.
No, not race 7. Sorry,
But
not a first-time starter. I meant as a long shot. The 5.
Yeah, but in the 6 horse, I mean, it's definitely ran good first out. It wasn't surprising. I'm surprised the 7 Bon Vermont is not taking any money though. I mean, currently 4-1, but you could see there on the race sim, then the 1's actually the horse that wins the race sim, Oldie. So I thought I had a big look. You can see for me, Oldie, I was fairly kind of narrow throughout. I thought the stakes race in the last was tough, but as we talked about in race 9, I thought Do Gooder could be a single, and then my price was the Diamatrana. We talked about that horse, but yeah. I don't know if you could get around the 6 here, the sequence should pay okay, and then. That was your ticket, right? So we agreed here. You were also 167.
Right, correct. And I think you have, an opportunity here to cover. I mean, you could play the 3 in race, or in race 9 here as your single and cover race 8 as you want to cover the single of the 7 in a pick 4 here.
Yeah, no, because and a lot of people are going to single do gooder with the pace and the speed up front. And, again, I think that you can run a good race if the pace does stop, which maybe we'll see. I think, it's, but, big pace advantage there on the turf.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think that again, I just don't trust the form of Jenna Antonucci's horses right now until she proves me otherwise. But,
yeah.
I just didn't think there was much in race 8 in general. I know you like the 3 there. I also like if I wasn't singling the 7, I'd be on the 5 there.
Yeah, I looked at using that horse. I hope it doesn't beat me. That would have been, I think that was my 4th. I see what happened, Oldy. I was kind of 2, 3, 7, and then it was kind of like 4, 5, 10, 11 underneath. And if I was I really like the 2 Belly of Jelly, but I get Honesto. I mean, had won at this level and then stepped up, right? So makes a lot of sense getting back to the 10,000 claimer, but also struggled to finally get there. That was kind of my concern.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, did win last time out at this level. I don't like that they tried to put the horse close to the lead last time, and that they've done that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my only concern, but I don't think that horse is fast enough to run with Light Fury.
No, yeah, definitely not.
I believe was running with Fly the W and a couple other horses like that for a while.
Live Fury?
Yeah.
I think I thought Live Fury had a big shot here. I agree with you. Never easy to wire, but this horse has a big shot to wire here. And then we talked about that, and then we have the stakes later, so we'll cover that towards the very end of the show, race 10. But I spread here. I think you did as well. We used the same horses in the pick 5. So you use the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 11 in the pick 5. I have the same in the pick 4.
Correct. That's what I have down there. I think I think that last race could be pretty wide open. I think race 8 and 9 are probably going to be pretty formful. Probably race 7 as well, but
yeah. All right, we will see. We got 2 minutes. Why don't we jump over? Show them on the track. 2 minutes to post. I'm around the restroom, Oldy. I'll be right back.
all right. I didn't think the 6 had to win here, and the 7 for Safi is second pick top win, which is a pretty decent angle. You're getting 9-2 there. I definitely think the price difference between the 6 and the 7 is kind of outrageous for a Michael Lerman horse who kind of broke slow, rushed up, maybe breaks better this time, maybe doesn't. We'll see. Just looking here since then, he did not throw a gate work in there so that typically means he thinks the horse will be okay breaking or was satisfied with the break there. But I think the Safi horse, it had a nice work April 20th as well as April 13th. It's working really nicely coming into here. Humor me, brother. As they're getting ready to go in the gate. What about you guys? What do you like out there? What could you make of this horse? As we used to say, would you make a Hadabroach, a pterodactyl? Don't forget also, you're new to the show, you're new to EquinEdge, to scan the QR code in the corner. You can get 3 free races a day of EE. You can also please hit the like. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the show and you'll get notified every time we go live with a new show here showing live racing. You see that they need to anchor their camera. There, they're going to make somebody seasick. More live racing coming after this. We got Pimlico, we have Anita, we have Woodbine and Monmouth today. We'll also cover the late pick 5 at Aqueduct. Which I think has a chance to pay. Looks like somebody on the gate crew was texting there. Don't think I've seen a gate crew member sitting like that texting in the gate while waiting for horses before.
What happened?
Gate crew member number 6 there was kind of hanging out in the gate, texting on his phone.
What? Really?
Yes.
That's
you could
crazy.
see him put his phone away while I was talking about it. William Wells is 675 here. Wiz likes a 7. On break is 146.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Moving in for a start, race number 7, starting leg of a late pick 4 offering. Heavily backed is the number 6, Humor Me Brother, daughter of brethren for trainer Mike Larriman and Clear Star Stable. Into line goes La Longa. Giant price here, 7-1 for trainer Gustavo Delgado. Can't stay 7-1, can she? Humor Me Brother going forward. Then Bon Vivant and Ratu Jawa. Ratu Jawa and Wesley Henry to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off.
Wow, the
crashing
6.
out of the gate, and that did no favors to Awesome McKenzie, who took the worst of it. Doing the crashing were La Longa and Humor Me Brother. From the inside, Bottomless
the
Mimosa
one's
gets
gonna
the first
get the
call and goes
lead?
looking for the lead. Humor Me
First-
Brother moves to take second.
you
Bon Vivant is on her
crash,
outside.
and then you don't
Dance to
shut
Remember
the
comes
door.
away in fourth, followed outside by
There.
Ratu Jawa. In between horses, it's La
And
Longa,
let him come
Blushing
right
Tigers
up
toward the rail.
inside you.
And after a messy start, the trailer is Awesome McKenzie. To the half-mile grounds they go. Edgard Zayas and Bottomless Mimosa. They have the lead by a length and a half. From the outside, that's Bon Vivant into second. From between horses, Humor Me Brother now third. Improving in traffic, La Longa getting started on the outside, Ratu Jawa. Dance to Remember is toward the rail, then back to Awesome McKenzie and Blushing Tiger as they round the far turn. Almost 3 in line here. From the far outside, it's a move from Bon Vivant to take the lead. That's all for Bottomless Mimosa. Humor Me Brother looks like she's got a world of problems at the moment. La Longa still close.
Come on,
And
7,
she's
Oldy.
now trying to tack on. They went to half in 46-2, and they're on their
6
way
is
home.
asking.
They're chasing Bon
Yeah, the
Vivant,
7s.
who
I think
turns
the
for home on
7
top. She
gone.
cuts the corner nicely. That got her another length and a half as Humor Me Brother tries to get another rally together. They come past the 8th pole.
Yeah,
Francisco
here comes the
Arietta
6.
trying to get one more furlong from Bon Vivant. Humor Me Brother starts to put it back together. Here comes Humor Me Brother on the outside. Bon Vivant, Humor Me Brother, they brush. Bon Vivant,
Yeah,
Humor Me
7.
Brother, Bon Vivant comes to the photo finish.
Six.
Bon Vivant on the inside. Humor Me Brother trying to get
6
by on
and
the
the
outside.
7 is
The third was
there
Awesome
were about
McKenzie.
6
Win
different
pictures.
opportunities for inquiries if the 7 did win there.
Wait, go back to the video so we can. Scott said WTF. Hey, that Wiz gonna say it because Scott said foul. Maybe we'll get a watch here in a second because I think what do we?
It looked to me like the 7 fouled the 6 at the start, and at least 3 times in the stretch.
Yeah, I mean the 6 got it was.
Maybe the 6 is coming in. I can't tell, but
No, but at the start, Oldy was crazy.
yeah.
The 6 definitely got the bob there, but let's the start was wild.
No, the 6 was coming in.
Stewards have lit the inquiry sign into the run of race number 7. Stewards inquiry looking at the top 2 here. Hold your tickets.
Oh man, that was close.
Yeah.
Inquiry in the stretch run. Win photo.
What about an inquiry at the start?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look at both.
Oldy, have you ever been to Fairmount Park?
I have not. That is out by St. Louis. That we do not consider that Illinois. Godfrey, Callum.
Oh my gosh! I look
Stewards
and I'm like,
inquiry into the stretch run. There's also a pending claim of foul. It's a claim of foul that's no longer pending as the result is now posted. So the foul claim is the jockey of the 7, Bon Vivant, has claimed foul against the jockey of the 6, Humor Me Brother, alleging interference in the stretch run. Stewards inquiry looking at that same possible infraction. The top 2 involved here.
Sign to hang.
I know, right? Well, 6 came. Well,
I have.
But then the 7
in,
started.
But the 7's coming out too. They're not going to change this.
Yeah, Hot Rod, we agree with you. 6 is fine, but your 5 horse ran good into the try, Oldy.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely saw it correct in terms of not trusting the Santo horse.
I used to go to
Santo horse. I keep calling him Santo like he's Ron Santo, the former Cubs player and announcer.
Chris Couples, I used to go to a Roxy's in Michigan, in Jackson, that was like some of the best breakfast ever. Probably different.
You don't want to be in East St. Louis at night. It's not as bad as it used to be, actually, but.
So the 6 comes over, but then the 7 should just let the 6 run into him, and then we might have been better. It was not like this one. Yeah, that was a pretty wild one in Jackson, Michigan. Yeah, the 6 took a lot of money, Rod. Humor Me Brother. That's the horse had a rough trip, the 6. Still ended up winning the race.
I mean, both these horses were all over the place, but maybe the argument is the 6 in it that nothing happens if the 6 doesn't come in first. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they changed.
After reviewing the films of the race, the stewards will take no action as a result of the inquiry. The stewards ruled that the 7 drifted out, if not more than the 6 drifting in. Certainly the 7 responsible for part of the infraction, and given that, the stewards make no change to the running order. Claim of foul has not been allowed. 6, 7, 5, 8, and 1. It's official. The winner 6, Humor Me Brother. She's a daughter of brethren out of Alexandra Riley by a Fleet Alex, bred by the Arundel Stud Farm in Florida, owned by Clear Star Stable, and Mike Lehrman.
You can jump to Woodbine, Oldy. We watch that. If you want to throw the sound on, too.
Bold Ripasso, but left alone with separation from the pack. It is Bright Sunshine lobbing along. 1.5 to Pat's Holiday, a neck away, Limoncello Spritz. On the outside, Fault Finder, 1 to Misty Eyed Snatch as they bunch up. Coming through the pack, Bold Ripasso splitting horses, and 1 away last is Black Dagger. About 5 covers the field, and left alone, all alone. Bright Sunshine by a length, Limoncello Spritz and Pat's Holiday. The stablemates keep tabs. On the outside, Fault Finder, the widest, and 3 off is Bold Ripasso. Then came Snatch, Black Dagger, and now last Misty Eyed. They start the run inside the 5/16, and Pat's Holiday takes aim after Bright Sunshine. Coming off the track, Bold Ripasso. Limoncello Spritz saving ground, has room to come through if good enough. And then comes Fault Finder and Snatch turning, and Bright Sunshine in front from Pat's Holiday. Limoncello Spritz on the inside, and down the center, Bold Ripasso putting the neck up. But out in front, Bright Sunshine, and down the outside, Snatched is running on pretty well. Bright Sunshine, the leader. Down the outside, Snatched into second spot, is gunning home really well down the center of the track. Out in front, Bright Sunshine on the inside. Bright Sunshine narrowly from Snatched in third, Bold Ripasso, then Pat's Holiday, I should say, and Limoncello Spritz. And behind them was Misty Eyed, the time 1:25.44.
All right, Oldy, we want to, we have Santa Anita in 10 minutes, but we got Pimlico before. Your pick 4, you singled here, so let's talk about this. Let me pull it back up. All right, morning thoughts. Good, you're getting great value, Oldie. 7 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, top win percentage, long shot. You know, there's really only 2 pace horses in this race. I think the 3's cheap.
There's your horse right there.
You know, the 2 has an morning line angle as well, showing 4 to 1 on the morning line there for Salmon with Hernandez aboard. And, you know, this horse showed it could rate a little bit last time out, nearly won. Going 8.5 at Laurel, 1-2 back at 8.5 at Laurel as well. So I think that this horse probably has a big look here. Doesn't need the lead. Could sit right off the 3 here. And if they don't go too fast, these other horses are probably going to be too far back. I mean, the 4-4 City moving to the Gaudette barn has no speed at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 5's a long shot that's getting bet a little bit, coming back to dirt. But again, no speed at all. I mean, the other one that's relatively dangerous off the layoff might be the 7, Mr. Jefferson. There, but again, you know, all these horses are going to be pretty far back. If you look at first call, I mean, with the exception of the 3 and the 2 on the race sim, at first call, these horses are already almost 4 lengths back on the dirt, that's tough to overcome.
Yeah, I liked your play on the 2. I'm not sure if that horse needs the lead, but like you said, may not. The race sim shows the horse necessarily didn't, and still the 2 ends up winning the race sim, Oldie. I mean, the 1 is taking all the money to come off the pace because the public's essentially seeing all that speed, right? So, but the 2 horse ends up, you know, really sitting the trip almost. So
Yeah.
The 4 is taking some money, but like you said, the 1, this horse is going to be pretty far back.
It's taking money because of the connections.
Walk Away Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jamie Ness.
Yeah.
But going into this race, this horse had been over 3 in the Ness barn at the distance. had to ship from Laurel to Parks to find a win. Is 8 years old, probably isn't the same horse in terms of, performance. Really, did its best running in 2021, it looks like, in 2020.
It's crazy. I mean, Jamie Ness gets this horse, fourth try, the thing runs, wins by 4.5 lengths. I mean, finally got to an easier level, I guess. I mean, definitely was the right spot, though. It ended up being a much easier race.
Yeah.
But I find it a little bit hard to trust.
Yeah, I could not take 4 to 5 on that horse.
Yeah. In 1 to 2 on the E, but only 22%, which is crazy. That's why I like your 2. I mean, I think trying to beat the 1 was a good idea, and you pick one horse to do it. So, all right, we'll jump over. They're loading. Is the sound on, Oldy?
Here's Master.
Yes.
Oh, yep.
Walk away, Joe. Mr. Jefferson. Get off. Forest City to the front. Morning Thoughts on the inside. Sent up for early speed as well. They hook up early. Good Luck Chuck is next. Then Mr. Jefferson. Fourth. Master of None is in fifth. And Walk Away Joe is last of them all around that first turn. So I'm 9 lengths off the pace. Morning Thoughts is the leader. Morning Thoughts from Forest City. He'll settle right off the speed now. Take it back a bit. On the outside, Good Luck Chuck now runs up to the second spot. Mr. Jefferson is side by side with Master of None as they run past the 6 furlong mark, and Walk Away Joe still has to pass them all. On his pace down the backstretch, it is Morning Thoughts pressed by Good Luck Chuck, and it's 3 lengths back. Forest City is in third. Mr. Jefferson is fourth on the outside. Master of None and Walk Away Joe is still last, some 9 off the lead. Morning Thoughts getting pressure from Good Luck Chuck as they head past the half-mile pole. Mr. Jefferson right there with Forest City on the inside. Another 3 lengths back. Here comes Walk Away Joe now moving from second last position, trying to rally from the back of the pack. And trailing the field is Master of None. Around the far turn, Mr. Jefferson coming at Good Luck Chuck. And on the inside, Morning Thoughts. Just in behind them is Forest City in the white blinkers, the white cap, and next is Walk Away Joe. Trying to rally out wide. They turn for home. Mr. Jefferson up top. Mr. Jefferson, the leader from Good Luck Chuck. Out center of the track is Forest City. Forest City trying to find new life on the far outside. Mr. Jefferson, Forest City. Good Luck Chuck, Walk Away Joe, fourth toward the center of the track. And here is Forest City at Mr. Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson's battling Forest City. Mr. Jefferson, Forest City. Walk Away Joe is third. Good Luck Chuck.
Well, you had the right idea.
Wrong horses, unfortunately.
Right? Santa Anita race number 2 in 3 minutes. Oldy, I looked mainly late here at Santa Anita, starting pick 6 starts, I think, in race 4, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. When I looked at this first couple races, I thought they were pretty wide open. I mean, you had a 5,000 claimer here. I mean, the 2 runs pretty well in the race sim, Doris Avenue, Oldie, but only 8%. I mean, yeah, it didn't win on the lead, but maybe getting back on the lead can improve. I mean, really dual here in the 50, so finds an easier spot. But some of these horses just had no speed. I mean, it just looked fairly paceless. So, I mean, on the race sim, I mean, the 2's out. I mean, the 5 made sense to me. Big bet too. But I did think the 2 had a little bit of interest to me from a pace perspective, Oldie.
Yeah, I mean, the horse that's taking all the money is Rocco Nagurski.
Yeah, the 3. Yeah.
But I don't see why you couldn't see a 2-5 exacta here.
I mean, the 3's dropping, gets off the turf onto the dirt. I mean, the 1 for 17. I mean, I get the drop, comes out of 52s into a 44,
But really, I mean, 1 for 17 lifetime. This horse just may not be that good. And the 1 wins on turf. It's never won a race on dirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I thought the 5 had a big look. I even think the 6 is a possible long shot underneath. It's 3 second places at the distance in 3 races.
I mean, back here ran 5. I mean, the 5.5 effort here ran second, but it was just so much easier. I mean, this is a rough race, though. So it's like anything could, the win percent show it's pretty wide open. But the 5 at 7-2, not a bad price, and I did like the 2, like I said, but.
Like they're going in the gate here.
No sound.
No sound. Nice sound.
Inside to take the lead. Bronco Nagurski third in the early stages. Joined by Irma Linda's Fancy, racing outside Fast Service. Big Bet second to last. The distant trailer is Uplift. They pass the half-mile pole with Doris Avenue.
You could get a
front,
2.67 maybe.
The 6 Hot Grands in second.
If the 5.
3 lengths or so. Down at the rail, Bronco Nagurski is a joint third. Inside, Irma Linda's Fancy. Then Big Bet, Fast Service, and still a distance to Uplift. A quarter of a mile to go, and 6 Hot Grands takes over. Doris Avenue is back to second. Bronco Nagurski angles to the outside. Then Irma Linda's Fancy, 3/16 to go. 6 Hot Grands. On the outside comes Bronco Nagurski, and Fast Service is coming up the fence, but Bronco Nagurski got the jump and is full of run coming to the 16th pole. And it's Bronco Nagurski, far too good. Bronco Nagurski wins it by 3. Fast
Chop to chalk.
Big Bet finished
Yeah.
third.
All right. I know you wanted to, at Aqueduct, probably some of the better stakes racing this weekend, Oldy. You had a pick 5, right?
Correct, yes.
All right. Which one am I entering? 150 or 120?
150 is the amount.
So, and then you had.
You're not shown on the screen, by the way.
Oh, thanks. 2, 3,
3,
10.
7, 10.
Yep. And then leg 3, you were 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then you singled the 9 gun song.
Winner of last year's Black Eyed Susan. I think it probably Mark Hennig horses typically need that race off the layoff. If you look, David has a note as well there that he likes that horse.
Yeah, the coalition ran second after winning over there at Parks. But, didn't fire here, but does find an easier spot. I guess that's the biggest concern. But you're getting a good price, Oldy. Anything around 5, 6, 7 to 1.
I really thought this was a 2-horse race between the 9 Gun Song and the 8 Jody's Pride.
Rosario for Abreu. Yeah, big drops. I mean, these are nice wins, right? And ran here on the turf. Didn't necessarily. I mean, ran fourth, but that was about the same. But these are all tough. Grade 1, grade 2. So I would agree. It looks tough. I mean, ran tough at Oaklawn, tough at Gulfstream. I mean, ran its best races in New York so far, right? So they get back to New York. Did win at 8 in the slop.
Yeah, maybe it has done its best running in the slop, but I just think that if the 9 just needed the race and that was a prep, which is what David thinks on Gunsong, and I agree there that's very possible. Gunsong's probably better than these. And there's not that much pace here where Gunsong shouldn't just be able to sit off.
You're
getting a fair price there. That's my thought.
Yeah, no, I like it. We got about 3 minutes. Let's talk about some of these other graded stakes then. So, race 7, the Johnny Narud.
Yeah.
How come Full Moon Madness not taking any money here, Oldie?
I mean, because Anarchist is there, and and the 3, what you're talking about for Ward, there's lots of speed here. The Ward horse might sit the trap, actually, the 3, but Full Moon Madness would have been the first one I would have cut out of this if I wanted to cut budget wise.
Mm-hmm.
The 2, I had some interest in the 2. I don't know if the horse is classy enough for Juan Avila, but the long shot there, it's 18%. Top pace number there, and might get brave on the lead if he can get the lead there.
Yeah, that they protected that horse, and was in for a claim, but then nobody claimed that horse. I mean, won 6 of 7. That's pretty impressive at Tampa.
Yeah,
but
may
to your
not be good
point,
enough.
this is a big step up.
Right, but if you're going to use Full Moon Madness, you have to use that horse here too.
Yeah,
at 10-1.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then so I'm tracking. It's kind of a, I don't know. Somebody in the chat said they were singling Alan, you're singling the 5. All right, and then this was allowance optional claim. A lot of scratches, Oldie, but you use 3 here. The 7, the 3, 7, 10.
Correct. So, none of these horses really are in great form. You go back to the dirt here on the 7 bonus move, who had been running on the turf. But should and could potentially get an easy lead here. The 9's fast as well. If that happens, I think the 3 Magical Ways for Rudy has a big look, as well as the 10 Seeking Unity, the second pick for Abreu.
Look at all the 3s flying, at the end.
Yeah.
Ends up getting there. That's pretty crazy. Magical Ways.
And then in the 6 furlong turf sprint, and the next I'm spreading. I think the I mean, the 7 is a big shot there to go gate to wire, but there is other speed there. And the 2 Clermont horses, I think, both have big looks.
Yeah. All right, they're loading at the Big A. Grade 3, 4 and up. We can't show it, but we'll listen, Oldy.
John A. Narad Stakes.
So you're hoping for the 1 or the 2?
Correct, but anything, the 4 is pretty decent too in terms of price for Linda there.
Here is Surveillance.
Man,
Moving forward.
that 4 horse doesn't want to load. Oh, well, I guess it did.
2 out. Anarchist. O'Connor Sunset. O'Connor Sunset to the outside. On A Nehru. And they're off. Silver Slugger flashes that early speed right to the front, and What You Talking About is in pursuit. These two hook up early. Surveillance makes it 3 across the racetrack. Confections early here as Silver Slugger takes it right to What You Talking About, and towards the outside there comes Surveillance, just watching them, maybe backing off, is now a half length back in third. At the rail, it's Full Moon Madness. One being pulled up.
Anarchist isn't winning.
The race. Anarchist
Whoa, yeah.
pulled up and moved towards the outside. The trailer will be O'Connor Sunset. Work around this far turn. Dismounting there was Joel Rosario.
Oh,
21
no.
and 4 for that opening quarter mile. The leader is Silver Slugger with the head in front. What You Talking About is in between horses, 3 wide. That's Surveillance. Full Moon Madness is all in. O'Connor Sunset is trying to rally on as well. They reach the top of the stretch, and Surveillance is challenging. What You Talking About in between horses. Right there at the rail is Silver Slugger. Full
Come
Moon
on,
Madness
two.
trying to catch the top trio. They throw it down here in the final furlong. What You Talking About in between horses. Silver Slugger battling.
Hang on.
Surveillance is trying to beat them both. What You Talking About? Very game in between. Right. What You Talking About? Won it. What You Talking About wins. The John A. Nehru Silver Slugger was right in there with Surveillance in 1 minute 9 seconds flat.
I mean, I was right. You had to take a shot on the 2 there. Almost got it done.
That was close, Oldy. All right, we got Gulfstream Park coming up next. The race number 6, that 6 horse ended up winning. We're about to live. I was on the 2 horse taking a ton of money. My gosh, you were on the 7 actually. So
yeah,
Light Fury. Talk to me about the. Oh, Billy, is Coast to Coast? When does it start? Does it start now? 34 minutes. We can do a Oldie. You want to do? We'll do a Coast to Coast. Yeah, I looked at the sequence, Billy. So yes, we could do Coast to Coast. So let's see here. Where were we? Let me get back. Gulfstream race 8. You were on the 7. You're singled here, right, Oldie?
yes.
Yeah, there's your ticket. You're singled, and I was 237 here. Talk to me about the 7.
All right. The 7, Light Fury. Here we go. Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, you're good.
Trouble getting my system up here. Second time for Carlos David. He is 27% second off a claim. The horse last year won 3 races in a row, and 2 or earlier this year actually, and 2 were on the synthetic against better than this group. A return to that form should see this horse win out this race. There's really not a lot of other speed here. The 3 Speedy Hans is the only other one for Sanchez there who might have some speed. So I thought Light Fury could get an easy lead. He's 2 of 5 at the distance here. And I thought, with you're getting 4 to 1 right now, but he just went to favoritism. So we'll see if you get a price there or not.
Yeah, you're right. The 7 did just go to 3 to 1, but and Chris, couples, the do-gooder could be a single. I used 2 there. I used the 2-3-7 here, Oldy. I like the 3 Speedy Hans. I also thought Belly of Jelly had a big look. Take a lot of money, bet all the way to 5 to 1. Belly of Jelly, Oldy, you look back, was facing tougher all predominantly at the championship meet, but also has kind of run at this level a couple times after winning a 48. So I thought really got back to the right spot. This horse, I think, can come off the pace probably. He's shown some ability and for me, Oldy, it was big, gets back to an inside post on the 2. It was far outside here. Didn't run well last out at all. It was bumped at the start. So bumped back here. So I thought at this level, the horse has been there a couple times, but I thought with all that speed up front, the 2 might be able to come over the top. But I agree. I thought the 7 had a big look. And then Speedy Hans was my other one, Oldie, with Jaramillo. Sanchez off the claim, hits at 23%, 22 tries. And you look back here, won at Woodbine at 6.5, and then had been facing quite a bit tougher at Turfway, and then ultimately at Gulfstream. And then, last out didn't run, but it was in the 1 post, so gets out there. Has had some big fields. I thought this was a competitive race, Oldie, but again, if I was going to try to beat this 7 with a couple horses, I wanted a couple prices. So,
for me, the biggest issue with the 3 is that this horse does not appear to be a 2-turn horse.
Yeah.
And, how many races this horse won? 43 races the horse has run. It's run 1, 2, 3 times on the synthetic going long.
Mm-hmm.
But you're looking at like 2022, 2023. This horse has really done its best.
Moving
running.
In for race 8. Honesto goes forward. Indy Lion getting ready.
Yeah.
Then Mobu to the outside. Mobu. Luca Panici up to take the outside gate. Eighth race field set for a start. In the gate. Starter looks across. Now they're ready. And they're off. Indy Lion blew the start. Good start for Speedy Hans, ridden hard for the early advantage. Belly of Jelly has something to say about that. And Light Fury's going to head them both off. The gray Light Fury to the top. Second is Speedy Hans up on the outside, Austonian. Widest of all, Mobu. Honesto's between horses. That'll fire him up. From the inside, it's Belly of Jelly. Then Gentleman Jerry. Outside, Infamous Covert is off the speed in front of Rock the Stars. And after a very bad start, the trailer is Indy Lion. They complete the quarter in 24-1. They race into the backstretch. They're chasing Edwin Gonzalez and Light Fury, who lead by a length. Second is Speedy Hans, 3 wide, Honesto. Third, Mobu is on the far outside. 2 back to Belly of Jelly, who's a neck better than Austonian. 3 wide, that's Infamous Covert. Moving out the rail, that's Rock the Stars ahead of Gentleman Jerry and Indy Lion at the back. They make their way half a mile from the wire. They went the opening half mile in 47-2. The leader, Light Fury, stretching his speed. He's 2 lengths in front. Speedy Hans is chasing pretty hard from second. The same could be said for Honesto. Making some progress toward the rail. That's Belly of Jelly. Moving up between. Austonian has a shot from there. He's got traffic issues. Rock the Stars gets underway as they reach the top of the stretch. A quarter of a mile left to go. Light Fury still the target. Second is Speedy Hans. He's working awfully hard. Now working harder at the rail. Belly of Jelly. Honesto's on the outside. Austonian tries to grind home. They're on their way home with Light Fury in front. They're all a bit fatigued. At the rail, it's Belly of Jelly. Down the center, Honesto. From between, it's Speedy Hans. Far outside, Rock the Stars with some fresh legs. They come past the 16th pole. It's Light Fury in front. From the outside, Rock the Stars. But Light Fury has the answers. Light Fury went gate to wire. Rock the Stars second. Honesto ran third. I think it's Austonian between for fourth in 140-4.
Took a bit, but 3-1, which you get a great price there. Oldy, so well done. Single gets home.
And the fact that the 10, who was the second choice, blew the break too.
Yeah. I saw that. The 6 ended up. Did 6 run second? I think it must have.
Yeah, I think it did. So you're gonna get a nice exacta there.
Yeah, Comic John. Boom. That was a good one. All right, Oldie. Moving along. Yeah, William. That's what Light Fury looked like would probably do there versus that group.
One away, rolling along now, caught a bit wide. Maps a breeze on the inside of Wyoming Bill, and yet to tack on is Mohayman Diamond. Swinging off the turn to the 3/8, Cool Collected, 3 parts to Pierre, and rolling along, muscling in. Pierre's the first to come forward for the lead here to join Cool Collected, and 3 wide, rolling along as they pick up the pace, only a length away. Wyoming Bill finishing well. 40-5 is on the inside as they corner. Cool Collected, Pierre rolling along. Wyoming Bill looking for somewhere to run on the inside. 40-5. Wyoming Bill coming after them with rolling along. It's Cool Collected in front. A number of them switching course. Maps of Breeze is coming right down the outside. Cool Collected gasping for air, still in front. Wyoming Bill on the inside. 40-5 the rail. 40-5 driving with Wyoming Bill, and it's a neck and neck struggle to the wire. Wyoming Bill, 40-5, maybe Wyoming Bill very close with 40-5. A gap to Maps a Breeze and Cool Collected in the photo.
Prices at Woodbine.
Yep.
All right, we got Pimlico. The last at Pimlico, Oldie, race 10, I believe.
Correct.
All right, that's my pick 4. Your pick 5 over your spread in the next couple legs, so that's good. You got your single home, and then that's big A. All right, let's go here. Man, there was a lot of races there. There's a lot of racing this weekend.
Yeah.
You kind of think it's going to like quiet down, but not really. Win percents are wide open, Oldie. Let's watch the race sim. Couirse not taking much money, but the morning line at E 7-5. The 5, the system necessarily didn't love, although it is the top pick. But from an odds perspective. The 1, Annie works too much, Oldie, out front.
21% with a -8 ROI.
The Scotty Longshot wins the race sim, Oldie, at 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this race, though, there's a lot of early pace.
Yeah.
So the 4 or the 6, might have a shot.
Public's going to the 5, but the 4 or 6 probably have a shot.
Yeah. I mean, again, the how successful people aren't very successful claiming off of Jamie Ness.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just a claim. This is a claim and a move up by McGee here.
Yeah, he does protect the horse. I mean, shows confidence. But, I mean, this horse burned a lot of money versus easier. Again, different trainer. They are cutting back to 6 when the horse had showed some success at 8, though.
Yeah, and no success sprinting at 6 and 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the horse is 2 of 10 lifetime at the distance. You know, also looks like it needs the lead and isn't going to get it.
I mean, the 4 horse is second off the claim for Sullivan. Sticks at 6 furlongs, which is the horse has 2 wins. Well, I mean, one at Keeneland in last fall in a 48, and then one last out in a 54. Has shown the ability to come off. I mean, this horse has a look, Oldy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think that horse has a big look. I think the 6 and the 3 might have a big look too, because you know the 1, 2, 7, and 5 I don't think can rate. Maybe the 1 can a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the 2 needs the lead, right? The 7 needs the lead. I think the 7's just, it wasn't for me. I mean, I know the horse 22%, but
yeah. And the 5, you know, has that 1 win not on the lead, but almost every race it's needed to be on the lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with you. There's a lot of speed up front. You have a horse like the 4 who's, I mean, fits here, classy. I mean, run well at 6 furlongs, won 3 of 5 as well. What about the 6 horse, Oldy?
2 is 21%.
On the 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the 6? Torrealba got off the 2. Yeah. But that's the other McGee hot dance. I mean, it's definitely very competitive. They've all been racing kind of in these similar conditions.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Maybe gets back to dry track here on the 6. From a handicapping standpoint, that could make the difference. I even think the 3 for Singh has a look, but most of these horses have been winning on the lead.
Well, that was the thing about the 6. I mean, I'm not sure this horse. I mean, it's run its best races right up on the lead.
And look at the 3 too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I for me, I'd be on the 4. It's taking money currently 5-1, but that's makes a lot of sense for me, Oldie. But that's where I would land if I was throw a few bucks.
Agreed. I think that's the spot to be.
You're getting 5-1, 20% to wins. That's horse just won last out.
And the price on the 5 starting to come up a little bit. I thought that the 3 to 5 or whatever it was last time we looked was insane. Some of these horses you're going to see at Charlestown soon anyways. Like the 2 Farrier runs a lot of horses at Charlestown.
The horses approaching the gate following this race. We have 4 races from San Isidro, Argentina.
And you see, Justin, look at how there'll be more space next week too. Look at how far the rail's out on the turf course.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. They have good turf racing there.
Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to watch the Netflix horse racing?
I haven't watched it.
I've been watching on planes, so I just finished it on my last trip on the plane out there. So it's pretty good.
You had good reviews?
Yeah, you'll especially enjoy the Katie's parts in it.
Yeah, no, I do need to watch it. I haven't. I started watching like a little bit, but I haven't had time really. I mean, that's been the biggest thing. But
I remember her filming that when we were talking.
Yeah, she had said it was coming out. No, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I know there's been a lot of comments, but
reached the starting gate.
Hopefully, it just brings good eyes to the sport and everything going on.
Yeah. Any new eyes is good.
Haley B. Hot Dance. Neolithica. Haley B is 9-5. Get her off. Neolithica darting right to the front from more to the inside. Then it's Hot Dance and Haley B's in between horses settling on the chase. And he works too much. Is working through on the inside into third. Just Like You is now in fourth. Haley B is next and Hot Dance to the outside. The back of the pack is Coal Mine. At the tail of the field, only 6 lengths will cover front to back. Neolithica more hooks up with Neolithica for the inside. Neolithica 2-path inside is more. 3 back, Just Like You. And
everybody
is at the rail in fourth.
Other than the 2 and the 7 decided not to go.
Then outside driven is Hot Dance.
Tried to take back.
Here is Haley B, who has to pick it up on the inside as they reach the top of the stretch with a quarter to go at Pimlico. And it's Neolithica disposing of more. At center is Just Like You, is now closed just into the second spot. They are followed by Hot Dance toward the center of the track. And he works too much.
Yeah.
Haley B splitting horses, one off the inside.
6 might actually beat the 4.
Neolithica bulleting home to win by 5 or 6.
Yep.
Close second. Hot Dance may have surged on Just Like You. It's close there. Then Annie Works Too Much, fourth.
All right, Santa Anita. So then we'll have Coast to Coast, and then there's the Santa Anita pick 6 as well. Oldy.
Yep.
Then we got Gulfstream Park, and I guess we have Big A, and then we have Gulfstream Park. I was kind of glad this race wasn't part of the pick 6 when I looked at it, just because I thought the pick 6 at the beginning was, I'm like, man, if this race was part of it, but it's not, right? I thought you could beat the 5. I didn't see this horse at 1-2, Oldy.
I thought this was crazy.
Yeah,
you mean the morning line was crazy here?
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Machu Picchu has a chance. The 1 coming back to dirt. GSR goes up. Broke its maiden on dirt again in a maiden special weight. I also thought that somebody like Stan from Malibu. I mean, that there's a bunch here that I thought you had as good of a shot as the current 1-2 favorite. The 7 Clements Ride, 1, 2 of 3, moving up in class here, didn't show any speed last time out. But this is another case where you might have a lot of speed here. And you could see somebody like the 7, the 2, or the 4 here.
Yeah, I thought that I'm surprised that horse is 1-2, Oldy. I was what was I? I was 6-1-2-7. I mean, the 6 horse is 31-1. I mean,
That's possible.
I thought the race 5 ended up
the third.
Race 5 ended up
from
scratching
Malibu
out
comes
that
up.
lone speed potentially. So that race is really weird now in a stakes race. I still think Air Force Red's going to be tough, but we'll chat
Clements
about
Rod.
that. Yes, happy Mother's Day. All the moms.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
They're in the gate. And they're off. I Am Amadeo is quick, but here's Jaguar John much faster and taking command. Mr. Machu Picchu moves into second, and Lead Pipe Joe gets a good spot third. I Am Amadeo broke on top, is now retreating, passed by Clements Ride, who's widest of all, 3 lengths off the lead. With a half-mile left to go, Stan from Malibu and Captain Willis trails. It's Jaguar John into the far turn. Leading over Mr. Machu Picchu, Lead Pipe Joe still in hand, third, 2 lengths off the lead. Another 3 back to Clements Ride in fourth. They're followed by Stan from Malibu. I Am Amadeo is second to last, and Captain Willis. They have a quarter of a mile to go, and Kyle Frey now asking Lead Pipe Joe to get by this top pair. This top pair tough. It's Jaguar John and Mr. Machu Picchu at the 8th pole. Mr. Machu Picchu has taken the lead. Lead Pipe Joe is coming with his run.
Come on, one beat. Oh, no.
Picchu or Lead Pipe Joe. Lead Pipe Joe, Mr. Machu Picchu. Lead Pipe Joe got there. A little bit of drama at 2 to 5, but he got the money. Mr. Machu Picchu was second. Battle for third.
Thought the one was going to get there.
I did too, but as soon as he passed the 2-horse there, he just kind of seemed to get lost.
All right, we got the Big A race number 8.
Mostly scratched down. The 3 Magical Ways is your current favorite.
So you have the 3, 7, 10 here. The first leg, we got the 3, not the best, but that's fine. So you have 3, 7, 10. This 7 taking a lot of money was to be expected, but also, like you said, Magical Way is the current favorite.
Yeah, I'm surprised Magical Ways is the current favorite, but as the long shot there, it was 5 to 2 on the morning line. Seeking Unity, the 10-horse, is 1 for 9 at the distance, so that might have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. 7's never gone 8 furlongs.
And the GSR goes down for Mark Hennig, but it's also from coming off the turf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this race, I think, came off the turf, if my memory serves me correctly.
Oh, you might be right. Oh, I think you are. It did. They did take. That's why there's all the scratches. Yes, William. 512. Well done. Let's see. We got 3 minutes, 4 minutes. 3 to the Big A. Then your spread, and then Gun Song, your single.
Yeah.
So hopefully just get through this leg, and then we have Gulfstream Park, and then maybe that's where we need to talk about coast to coast.
Yeah, maybe we should do a coast to coast now.
All right. The system wants to single do gooder. I used also the 2-horse in my. Well, actually, Oldy, do we agree that Squire's a single or no? Oh, no, that's the stakes race. Where? Okay, we have to agree. So is the 4 horse a single in Petite Treat?
I mean, that's my feeling. I mean, it's top win, top pace, top SOR, and top GSR.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm with you. This claiming race is, we can talk about that. So I liked Do Gooder here. What's your, I also like the 2. And then we have the stakes race in the last. What do you think about the first leg?
I'm leaning towards maybe going double single and singling the 3 there, since I'm spread in the. But I could go to 5, 3, 5, 2. I could go 3, 2.
Let's keep going and we'll come back. All right. And then what were your, this is the stakes race, the Royal Palm Juvenile for the boys. Squires, Louis riding here. He won that other stakes race, and now he riding here for Ben Cohn. I thought that the 2 had some interest, Beers on Me, and I also thought Win and Juice. But what were your thoughts?
So, I mean, I thought maybe the 3. I know Ramsey's not a good first-time starter trainer, but I thought the 3 had some interest. Win and Juice, the second pick there. The system is picking that up as a second pick. It does seem to be working nicely. You know, do I think Bean Cohn's going to win 2 of these today? I think is the question, and I think that my answer is no. I actually really like the Weaver first-time starter as well. The 1.
Okay.
So I'm 1 through 4, 11.
Oh yeah, yeah. So no, I like that. I would agree with you. Okay, so we might be single double, and then okay, I liked Air Force Red best. Even kind of like before the scratch, I also had liked the 1. What was I can't remember. Noble Reflection on the lead, but what's you like the 4? I think best.
But so until the scratch of the 1 horse there, Brand, the 4 was my single. It was a single there for me. I think Sadler sends the 2 final boss with Air Force Red. Theron was going to send earlier as well, and Brand and final boss are both Sadler horses there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's trying to set this race up for Brand there, because the 2 is a little class compromised. This is a pretty big step up in class for that horse, and is shortening up from 9 furlongs.
Divine Rascal scratched in race 8. That in that 5,000 claimer, that, oh my gosh. This race is brutal, the last one. All right. Well, so
I thought there were only 2 horses in the last race that couldn't win.
Couldn't win?
Yes.
Which ones?
The 1 and the 9.
Okay. Well, what do we want to cut here in race 3? Well, hold on. We're going to watch Aqueduct. And then, so, Oldy, you need the 3, 7, 10 at the big A. There's your ticket. We'll come back at Coast to Coast because we still have a couple minutes to do it.
Seeking Unity. Less to load. There's Sagamore Mischief is in. Seeking Unity. Dylan Davis goes in. All set. And they're off. Speed from Bonus Move right out to the front, and Sagamore Mischief is right there with the leader. These 2 hook up early, moderate tempo up front. Bonus Move, John Velasquez, they're a neck in front. Right to the outside, Sagamore Mischief is stalking, and patiently ridden their Seeking Unity is tucked in behind them. Here comes Magical Ways, that's the leading 4 with the early trailer. Unbridled Bomber. Bonus Move is in front and clear. Bonus Move went 23 and 3 for the opening quarter mile. Moving right along. Bonus Move easily up front is up by a full length. Sagamore Mischief takes off the pressure here, stalks from second. Magical Ways is moving forward at the rail in third. Out wider there, no move yet from Seeking Unity. Center of the racetrack makes it 3 wide in that second grouping, and still the trailer. Tight hold. Manny Franco wants to go. Unbridled Bomber is the trailer, only 2.5 off the lead, 47 seconds flat for half-mile time. No excuses for Bonus Move, who takes him into the far turn, has done it easily, and Bonus Move is up by 3/4 of a length. Magical Ways, going to ride the rail, no room yet. Sagamore Mischief, Seeking Unity, 3 wide. Unbridled Bomber begins to uncork at the back, is still the trailer, has to make up 2 as they approach a quarter mile left
3
to
is
go and try to
loaded.
muscle through. Here comes at the rail. Magical Ways is trying to create an opening there. Bonus Move is trying to hold that position. Sagamore Mischief, these 3 across the racetrack. Seeking Unity is 4 across.
I'm going to upset this race.
How long to get? It's Sagamore Mischief to the outside is challenging. Bonus Move is still there. Magical Ways is trying to rally on. Seeking Unity is trying to catch the top duo. And here
Come
they
on,
go
10.
across the racetrack inside the final
Or
16.
3.
Late lunch here. Magical Ways.
Come
towards
on,
the inside.
10.
Sagamore Mischief. Seeking
Yeah.
Photo by Seeking Unity on the grandstand side. Got it. It's a photo there with
A little too close for comfort there.
Three-way photo. Woman 36.47 seconds.
You can see the 9 just didn't want to get by. All right, back to coast, y'all. Okay. We got Gulfstream Park is in 2 minutes. So, well, what do you think, Oldy? Do we want to double single? The 3
You could double single, and you could go all in race 2 and all in race 5.
Well, no, we already double single. I mean, what do we want to do in race 3 then?
I mean, you like the 3, I like the 4.
And spread. It wants to spread in the last. I like what we have in race. Well, there you go. That it comes out exactly to $80 to do, like you said, no 1 and 9 in the last.
Yep.
All right, that's it then.
It's a reasonable ticket for the coast to coast.
Yeah, I thought the Petite Treat could wire there on the turf for sure. And then I thought the same here and do gooder. Currently 7-5, not a bad price. I like the Exacta here also, Oldie, with the 2. What's it paying? 24 to 1? Really? Wow. Yeah, the 5's taking all the money. The 2's only 10, is already 10 to 1. You're getting 24 to 1. On the 2-3, you're getting 37 to 1, but
I turned all the sound off. I did. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised the 3 and the 5 are the ones taking the money there.
And Chris, I agree on Do Gooder. It definitely looked like the one to beat with that type of pace. All right. They're hopping over to the turf course.
All right. Now the synthetic. I mean, 6 to 5 is a pretty fair price. And I got him a 3.
Yeah. I mean, the more line was even money, so I would agree.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Moving into line now for race number 9, 6 to 5 favorite is number 3, Do Gooder, daughter of Good Samaritan for trainer Jenna Antonucci. Jose Morelos has the riding assignment. Chief challenger, according to the wagering public, is the 5 De Regresso. Edwin Gonzalez up for Antonio Sano. Into line goes Chick Shadow. De Regresso and Violet Gibson will be next, and then Fantasy Performer to the outside.
Good luck, Hot Rod.
For the sake of your pick 4 and my pick 5, I'm hoping for the 2, but
Fantasy Performer. Leonel Reyes
Yeah,
will complete
right?
the line. 1 mile on the
Yeah,
turf.
you gotta have it both ways.
They're all in line. And they're off. Do-Gooder was away well. She's reaching out for the early advantage. De Regresso wise to that and goes to a flanking position in second. Up on the outside, Violet Gibson's in early third. In tight toward the rail, that's Dia Matrona with Chick Shadow the Gray. Out wide in Fantasy Performer. The early trailer is Pursuit of Liberty. Around the first turn they go. Jose Morelos and Do-Gooder have worked to a 1.5 length lead over a loose rein De Regresso, who races in second. Headstrong at the inside, Dia Matrona is now third from Violet Gibson, who's in the 2-path fourth. Followed fifth by Chick Shadow, then Fantasy Performer, and Pursuit of Liberty is last. The quarter complete in 23-4. They head down the backstretch. It's Do-Gooder and Jose Morelos on top 3/4 of a length, trying to catch some form of a breather, but De Regresso will not allow that to happen and is right alongside now in second. At the rail, Dia Matrona is now third, Violet Gibson fourth, then Chick Shadow and Fantasy Performer. Pursuit of Liberty is last. They went the half in 47-1, so no breather for the favorite as they swing around the far turn. It's Do-Gooder in front. Here's De Regresso to take her shot from second. At the rail, Dia Matrona is now third. From the outside, Fantasy Performer. Violet Gibson is in between horses, then Chick Shadow. From the back, Pursuit of Liberty. They reach the top of the stretch. Do-Gooder still in front. Working harder to stay with her is De Regresso, and she's trying to lug in a touch. That's good news for Do-Gooder as Morelos shakes her up for a final length of a mile. Do-Gooder by 2. De Regresso is second. She's tried awfully hard, but Do-Gooder's fastball's too much. It's Do-Gooder for Copper Thoroughbreds and Jenna Antonucci on the road winner. 2.5 clear at the end from De Regresso second, Fantasy Performer third in 132-4.
Yeah, I mean, Oldy, it's funny, Steph just walked in, and the first race of the day at Gulfstream is a similar situation. Rail was out, Edwin Gonzalez was on the lead on the first race of the day. And then you saw the same thing here on the non-stakes races. They threw the rail out, and I will tell anybody, and if you're watching, Morelos is probably he's riding the best of his career, Oldy, and he legit might be, outside of Zayas, who's leading, probably the second best jock at the meet right now. I mean, I think won at least 2 today. He's hitting at nearly 20%. Like, he's getting live mounts. So that's awesome. All right. Kicked it off. That's a couple of singles in a row, Oldy.
Back is Southern Blessing as they race round the far turn.
We're watching Emerald race right now.
Here, pull it up. You can pull it up.
Right,
they have some bigger fields.
Big Dream gearing up from the
outside. That field's not huge, but
midnight alongside of that,
a decent size field. For Golden Gate, that's like 2 races.
To talk about at the inside. Lovely Bride is on the attack, and Lovely Bride gets to the front now. Burning at Midnight's chasing. And Harry's Big Dream grandstand side.
No, that 3 might get there.
Finish. Lovely Bride at the inside. Here comes Burning at Midnight. Those 2 to the line. On the inside, Lovely Bride just in front of Burning at Midnight.
I haven't been down yet. It's only like the second week of the meet, but I'll have to go down and
mile to run, and so far so
we'll
good.
Do some live coverage this year.
Yeah, for sure. We got Woodbine on.
We can play it
again. On the outer, second last, Ever Dangerous bustled along, and 3 or 4 lengths away last, Journeyman. Essex Serpent's off and running again, and raced away by 2.5 lengths to Marquardt. Roscar's coming home well on the inside. Essex Serpent coming down to the final quarter.
This looks like it's either
Roscar looming easily on the outside as the big threat. Essex Serpent only a half. Roscar tapped up as they corner, though. Essex Serpent yet to release the brakes. Roscar made a dash. Essex Serpent in front. Roscar still knuckling down on the outside, but Essex Serpent by a couple of lengths now to Roscar, and has a lot left. Essex Serpent inside the final furlong. And Essex Serpent, like the win in the Marine, On the lead all the way, and now digs in to win by about 4 or 5 lengths. Essex Serpent is back, 4.5.
All right, we got Santa Anita. We want to go talk Santa Anita.
Sure, we could talk the pick 6 there if you want.
Yeah. Let me. All right, Santa Anita. All right, not coast to coast. All right, pick 6. What is it? 67,000 carryover, I think, Oldy.
Yeah, correct. That's what I saw.
The 8 was 31-1, Patrick. Yeah, you can find some bombs there sometimes. They have like I was saying before we jump to Santa Anita, a lot of the Northern California horses some are gonna come up there. Their fields, there's an 11 horse field, I think, at a 5.5 sprint later in the card. I was like, my goodness. Though occasionally, I mean, it'll be awesome if they start getting larger fields. So we'll see. All right, Oldie, pick 6, $2. I opted for the coast to coast play for me, but I know that you put a ticket together. You had a couple different singles. Let's do a cheap one for maybe like $100. What do you think? So here. Maybe I was 1-3-5-7.
See, I thought the 6 was super sneaky here.
I thought this was a tough race, the first one.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So Air Force Red for me, but then you like the 4. You single the 4?
I did not on our ticket. I played 3-4 here, and then I singled the 3 and the 4 in the next 2 legs.
Oh, see, I could see. I like the 7 some here. The 6 I talked about on the show with the guys last night for Santa Anita and Gino. Like this horse they were saying can't run on the right lead and was having a lot of trouble. Was the concern on the 6. So I think you're set. The only other horse I liked was the 7 really would have been mine, and then we both thought the 4 was a single, right?
Yep.
And then and then there's this, and then there's the I thought, what was your thoughts on the last? I thought the 9 would be tough.
I didn't believe in the 9. I mean, it did almost win last time, but I'm not sure it'll go by anybody.
I mean, those were a lot tougher early. Those were 52s, right?
But, was it because it was tougher, or was it because it just wouldn't go by anybody?
Well,
I actually like the 7 with the GSR bump going first time dirt there.
No, I agree. What about the 4 or the 5?
I used the 5 for Paul. I did not use the 4. I actually like the 2, the first time starter for D'Amato.
The 2%er. All right. I personally couldn't single this 3 horse. In our coast to coast, we completely spread, right? I had the 7 on top originally, but it scratched. The pick hasn't updated yet. But I also thought the 11, the 6, I was 11, 6, 5, 3.
1, 6, 5, 3. Yeah, I mean, I did spread here.
I think we should cut in the last and spread in race 8.
Yeah, I just went 9-7-2 in the last. But you could go 9-7 maybe in the last.
And then see there 3, 5, 6, 8, 11. Who else? That I would. That's how I would probably play it. Something like this, Oldie. For cheap. I mean, you obviously could add whether you added here. Here it didn't want to add, so it'd be even. See, here you have to either spread in race 4 or spread in race 8.
Yeah. No, I think you got to spread in race 8.
I like the 3 best here. I thought the picks were, and I also thought the 1. I was 3-1-7. But these were both I thought these were both tough legs.
I was 3-5-6-7.
Well, maybe we should be going more narrow since we both have the 3.
Yeah, I didn't think the 3 had to win there, though. The 5's the one getting bad.
Yeah, with Maldonado. That was taking a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. $2. I would. You definitely have to use more horses in this leg. I don't even like the 3, Oldie, in all honesty. But I mean, from an SOR, I mean, it obviously fits, but it just has no speed. I mean,
the irony is it's 1 win came on the lead.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about the 3 in race 8, but yes.
Oh, race 8, yeah, okay. Sorry, I was.
No, I know on the 3 here.
But I agree with you. I mean, I think the 3 is very beatable there.
In race 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the horse is probably going to be the favorite.
I mean, why can't the 8 win there?
No, it can. The 7 scratch, I think, was big.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 11 and this outside post, I thought had some interest. I mean, it shows well in the race. I mean, Oldy, look at the highest pace number now with the 7 as 47 with your 8.
Yeah, but doesn't get the lead on the race sim. Doesn't, I don't think needs the lead either, but.
Urenga, this horse has been running over at Low Sal. This one as well, the 5 Golf Drama. I mean, 1-2 back and then ran well in a 48 at Santa Anita, similar to this group, was a 5,000 claimer. They would have to. I'd probably play it more like. I'd probably play it for a little more, Oldie, for me.
Yeah,
something probably for me would probably be something like this.
Okay.
because I do agree with you. I think this first leg I thought this first leg was tough. Although I do find it interesting. You and I both have the 3 on top, but I think that the 3 I think could be a single. So I agree with you there. We both like the 4. That's our top picks in race 5, and then spread, and then that's kind of both our top picks in the last. So we'll see. Not a bad ticket for what's the pool here we can jump over. They were saying they thought at least $500,000. 250.
Well, they got a long way to go right now.
No, they're at 340. All the late money is gonna come. Watch, it's gonna go from 340 Oldy to 450. Watch, it's just gonna take a bunch of money. I bet there'll be more than 41 to 44. It didn't come yet.
Yeah, it's not really jumping.
It will. Don't worry. That's too much free money. 67,000. All right, and then we got Gulfstream Park.
Yep. And we get and we'll have the Preakness live in the stream next week.
Yes, that's going to be amazing. We have Big A and then Gulfstream.
That's right. We have Big A. I forgot about that. We're spread in the turf stakes race there.
Yep. It's a good one. And then, well, I guess we'll probably end shortly after that.
Yeah.
Hopefully close it out strong here. Man, the 3 or 7 to 2, not a bad price.
It's post time and it's pick 6 time. Pool approaching 400,000. In the gate. And they're off. A little bit of a stutter step for Nulla. A quick one for Queen Gervin. Nate on the far outside. Princess Daddy is down at the rail. Memo Sis comes away behind the trio. They're followed by Nulla, who's 5th and 4 lengths off the lead, and another 3 to Full Moon Grazing. Around the first turn, Queen Gervin the leader. Nate up alongside in 2nd. They are joined by a very eager Nulla, who didn't have the best of beginnings, but wants to be part of the pace. And now Nulla and Edwin Maldonado loop up 3 deep to keep the pressure on Queen Gervin, with Nada in between those two. Then it's Princess Daddy. Memo Sis now moves up, takes 4th in the white colors. It's a big gap to Full Moon Grazing. They have a half-mile left to go, and Queen Gervin has been there throughout, pressed by Nada in 2nd. It's another length and a half back. Memo Sis in between horses. Princess Daddy at the rail. Nala has lost some ground now. She's back to 5th. Another 3, Full Moon Grazing, has gotten closer to the group. Now just 6 lengths off front-running Queen Gervin and Armando Aguilar, who have been there every step
That
of the
4
way.
going to be dangerous.
Getting all over
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think
get
we're
by
out.
second. These two have separated themselves.
The 7
5
has some
lengths back
horse,
to Princess Daddy in third. They have 3/16 of a mile to go. Queen Gervin clinging to the lead. A half length in front of Nada, who's trying to get by in the final 1/8 of a mile. Queen Gervin, Nada, 2-horse race the entire journey. Queen Gervin has
7 won't
something
run
left.
straight.
Keeps on fighting for that win. Nada on the outside with a final try. Queen Gervin all the way. Nada's second.
7 wouldn't run straight. Ran in right into the 4
Full Moon
when he was going to go by
over
before.
Mimosas.
That's only. All right, I'm moving on. All right, we're over to the Big A, Oldie. Take the A Train Stakes. And then we got Gulfstream, and then we'll close it down with Gulfstream Park, probably race 10, the stakes race. But your spread here, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8.
Yep, and I was gonna claim that the Take the A Train Stakes is named after former Bear Anthony Thomas, known as the A Train. But that's completely made up on my part. Right now, the 7 Lovely Emma is 5-2 in your favorite. There, but these two, the 3 and I'm sorry, not the 3 and the 4, the 4 and the 6, the 2 Clement horses. The 6 puts Irad aboard. The 4 there has Rosario. The 4 is your top pick. You're getting 6-1 on the top pick there, on the shorten up to 6 furlongs. Potentially for Clement there on an Into Mischief. But the 8 Hey Birdie had a little bit of a look as well, undefeated for Sherry Belbiv DeVoe there. Doesn't have Jose aboard, but the horse has shown it's tactical. David has a note that it looking for its 3rd consecutive rally, stretches out to 6 furlongs as the highest GSR, and should get a nice stocking trip from an outside post.
Yeah, I would agree with David. I mean, the nice horse GSR is big. 5-1 currently, getting a good price. The 7's just getting crushed. Lovely Emma.
The other one I didn't use that I had some interest in, my next out, if you will, in a spread race was the 11 Warming for Graham and his motion there.
Yeah, one last out. Nice GSR, 1 easy. Manny rides back. One on nearly a year ago, one on this turf course.
Big layoff, though. We don't know why the horse was out for almost a year, but sometimes those are tendon issues and the horse doesn't run back the same, but seems to be working well in the synthetic. Just going to be a matter for that horse if it can get a trip and if the speed stops. The 3 Disco Star, who's the long shot, does have some class for Cassie, having run in a couple stakes races. Gets back to sprinting on the turf where she broke her maiden.
Yeah, it's a tough turf race. I can see why you spread some, Oldy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this race is pretty wide open. You could even make a case for the 2 Marvelous Madison if you wanted. But to me, this horse wasn't all that great in the Chad Brown barn. Barely won, going 5.5. Now moves to Mott. I need to see a race out of this horse first off the layoff.
Man, the 7 really backs up on the race sim. I mean, all these horses come up over the top, which obviously that's not the way this is being bet. So gonna be interesting. You have good chance to upset the favorite here, and then you have a good price in the next leg. So
yeah, I mean, Lovely Emma has stopped in 3 of her 4 races.
Yeah, lost here as the favorite, and then obviously romped here with a much easier lead. But tough losses there, Kentucky Downs and Keeneland last fall. It's layoff lines too, obviously a little bit of a concern. So
Horses stepping on the turf course and approach the gate for race 9.
Remember also you have horses cutting off, getting Lasix taken off as well here. On the 7, the 8, you're going blinkers on the 5.
Well, we'll see. They're over on the turf course getting ready to load. There's the 7, Oldy. Still continually taking a lot of money. 2-1 off a 9-2 morning line.
It's 5-2 on the morning line, though. So 6 also has taken a lot of money. With IRAD aboard there.
Brazil. Low to the outside will be warming. Sampson Gal goes in. It's time to take the A train. $150,000. All set. And even line. Anna's call. It's the first call, and there's Anna's call, who's in front, is up by a half length. The inside has got to Brazil. It's going to be in the early mix too, as they're far apart now. Got to Brazil, gets over to the rail. Little Key is in front, is up by a half length. Anna's call is going to take back in second. At the rail, that's Marvelous Madison moving on through, is now challenging with Lovely Emma. In traffic, that's Hey Birdie, who's now in 5th. Muscle now wants to pull on through, but Hey Birdie is held back in 3:22.4. Opening quarter mile. Got to Brazil. The big long shot is in front. Right there in 6th. To the outside there is Wisconsin Gal. Warming is trying to move forward. From the back, here's Disco Star, and Love Cerver is the trailer.
3's flying.
At the top of the lane, and Got to Brazil is in front. It's Got to Brazil at a huge number for Kendrick Carmouche and sprints for home. Anna's Call is trying to run this leader down, and here comes Anna's Call down the center of the course. Hey Birdie has dived down towards the inside of the big long shot. Disco Star, Love Cerver is
the 4's flying
from out of it. Here comes Love Cerver, Disco Star. Anna's Call is in front.
4 is the Rosario horse I mentioned. Other Clement.
Inside, Love Cerver in time.
Should have played the super, Oldy.
Then it was a 3-horse photo there. Warming was running up on Anna's Call and Disco Star. And 1-10-1.
I want to call him Disco Stew instead of Disco Star, the 3-horse. I don't know if you... Disco Stew is the character from The Simpsons.
Oh, no. William, you had Hey Birdie. That was only his good super there. The 4, 3, 8 were all there, and then I think that was the 11 coming late, but well done.
5-1 on the Scotty first pick.
Yeah, it was the top pick there. I mean, wins the race sim, right? I mean, came flying late. The race sim read that race perfect, right? The 7 got You could see there at the stretch, the 7 completely backed up. The 7 finished dead last, the favorite.
Well, you knew when the 7 didn't get the lead that horse was probably in trouble. Don't you think?
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. Came 4-8-3, Oldie. It came cold try. The try was
That's amazing.
Cold. 5-1 over 4-1 over 8-1. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's pretty crazy. It came 4-8-3. 4-8-3-6. Look, it nearly had it perfect on the race sim. That's wild. Yeah, Patrick, I saw the 8 did look to have a little bit of a brutal trip when they had to cut inside there. They weren't going to get through. I'm not sure anybody was going to beat the 4, although the 8 was there, so I could see that. Yeah, the 3 too, Chris, had issues. All right, Oldie, we got Gulfstream Park is up next to finish for us. Been a good day. I can't even my pick 4 not gonna be paying much. Hopefully I get my money back. We were both 1, 2, 3, 4, 11.
Yep, so we need to beat the 4 here. For sure.
Well, we need the win in juice. So yeah, that's good thing I played that cheap. My gosh. Your pick 5, you want the 11.
Same boat. I mean, we need to get rid of the 4.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Mike, that was cold Scotty picks. 3 or 5 Gulfstream, Chris? We want the 3.
Yeah, we want the 3. No 5.
We don't have the 5. Chasing my dream. Yeah, win and juice. Patrick, this would be a good way to end it. Okay, Chris. Let's get win and juice. That'd be amazing.
Maybe a little 11 sauce too there.
The 11's like massive value. I mean, that horse not taking any money, but it definitely had a bit of a look.
The Scotty long shot there. It's Mark Cassie with Morelos aboard.
The horses are approaching the starting gate. 1 minute. Live racing again tomorrow. It's Mother's Day Sunday here at Gulfstream Park. Racing forms and programs on sale now for Sunday racing. First race post time is 12:50.
Good luck, Chris. Although we got the pick 5, my pick 4. Good luck in your big A, pick 5. That'll be.
And well, single coming up next after this, so we'll know by then. I haven't looked to see who's getting where it opened. I should do that while we're sitting here. The 9 Gun Song opened at 5-1. Neither Gun Song nor Jody's Pride are getting back there.
The 9's taking money, Catherine. I think I can. 4-1 off a 6-1 morning line. The 4's getting absolutely crushed. That was just I would say maybe just not a great morning line as well on the 4.
The 9's getting crushed because of the connections. It's Rapoli and Pletcher.
Yeah, only 1%. Beers on me with Mendez going to be tough, I thought, too, Oldie, up front. I mean, he gets him ready. Edwin really aggressive. This horse should get the lead.
Yeah. I mean, it looks to me like the 9 might be more distance.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time.
That might be
moving in for a start for the Royal Palm Juvenile of 2025. Already saw an impressive winner from the Beyond Cone Barn earlier today. The bettors think he'll sweep the series as Squire, another son of Leinster, daughter of Leinster, took down the Royal Palm Juvenile fillies. Squire is favored. He did a lot right while learning a lot in his debut run. Luis Saez has the running assignment as the fierceness colors worn by Rajiv Mirage on I Think I Can. Squire playing up behind the gate. Mother's Day Sunday here tomorrow at Gulfstream Park, 12:50 the start time.
That 4 is definitely, you don't want to see that if you got that horse 3 to 5 and single.
Yeah.
Just doesn't want to load.
Squire's ready. Cadenced to the outside. Cadenced. And Jose Morelos to complete the line. They're at the post. And runners away in the Royal Palm Juvenile. The favorite Squire was quick off the blocks, moving out the rail. Beers on Me, forwardly positioned. Out in the center, that's Chasing My Dream away in third. Outside fourth goes Arkadelphia. Then down at the inside, that's Sandal Song. Back from there goes I Think I Can, ahead of Cadenced and Win and Juice at the back. Half a mile away, Luis Saez and Squire make a lead. Beers on Me fights right back second, Chasing My Dream third. Sandal Song looking for room. Panichi trying to feed him some racetrack. He's got some run here. Into the clear comes Sandal Song to lay down the challenge to the in-battle duo through a 21-4 opening quarter. Off the turn in the stretch drive, Sandal Song with a big sweeping move now, and he shoves ahead on top.
Yeah, baby.
Tries to pedal back. He's now second.
There you go, Oldy.
Beers on Me, but Sandal Song will make his first start an impressive one with a Royal Palm Juvenile victory. Sandal Song does it by a length and a half. Squire second, nicely clear of a battling Arkadelphia, who's in a show photo with Beers on Me. In the Royal Palm Juvenile, it goes to Sandal Song.
Also a nice price if people played our coast to coast.
No, I know. That's what I was. Yeah, I agree. You got the first single, and then we got through that leg and a couple more legs to go. But, well, we started out a little cold, Oldie, but woohoo, Comic John, right? That was a good boom to end. We got a little bit hot there more towards the end, and that was fun, brother. I'll be back with Gulfstream more tomorrow. I'll gonna do another daily video, but that was fun, everybody. Oldie, any last thoughts before we go?
So, like I said, Preakness next week. We'll have a start time out as quickly as we can. We should have some special guests. I already have at least one lined up. I will be at a work training all week, so won't see much from me in the chats, but looking forward to the Preakness. I'll also be taking over once I get done with that work trip, writing notes in Maryland as well, now that Oaklawn is done.
All right. It was a pleasure. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a good weekend. And for all the moms, though, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Going to be awesome for them. Enjoy your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll be back later this week. And, Oldie, that was fun. We'll see y'all soon.